Have you ever heard of Edward Bernays? He is the nephew of the great Sigmund Freud, a renowned psychologist. Now, why is this important? Why am I talking about this? Well, he went into marketing. And did he use his powers for good or for evil? Well, you tell me. A cigarette company reached out and they said, we want more women to begin smoking. How could we possibly do this? So Edward came up with a great idea. They went to the Macy's Day Parade and they gave a feminist float cigarettes. They sponsored them, gave them cigarettes, and they sent them off on their way. They said, don't light these until we give you the signal. As they started going down, they went to the media outlets and they said, the feminist float, the float for female empowerment, for feminism is going to come down and they're going to light the torches of feminism. On their signal, the women lit up and they started smoking. There, cigarettes and women became a symbol for feminism, for female empowerment, for we don't need a man, for females being a badass. And the rest is history. Female smoking went up about 56% around the country. And I'm sorry, but camera companies are pulling your leg in just the same way. Let's talk about it. What's going on, everybody? My name is Jay the Creative, and welcome back to day 6 of the 30-day video production challenge. Today, we're going to be talking about the fact that camera companies are lying to you. And this is going to have to do with what camera you might want to purchase. Just like in the beginning story, conveying an idea, conveying a product is all about your hook, your messaging, and your marketing. How do you actually craft and create a story? The issue is that a bunch of camera companies are selling you products that ain't gonna make you a dime just because you have the product itself. Now, what do I mean by this? I'm not saying that it's not going to make your workflow easier. I'm not saying that having B-RAW in a camera and working in DaVinci Resolve isn't going to make your workflow a lot easier by making it faster and easier to edit higher resolution files while also having raw data. What I am saying is that having the beautiful imagery, having the dreaminess, having the mountains, having the millions of dollars worth of cinema glass, having the motion that you're never going to have, having all of this stuff is conveying a message that you are subconsciously receiving. And that message is, if you have this camera, you can make these images. When that is not true. You can make those same images on any camera. Any camera after 2015, I'll even say any camera after 2014, 2013, will make you tens of thousands of dollars, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars, in the video production space. Because at the end of the day, we're not selling a client on the camera that we are using for their project. We're selling them on, this is going to solve a problem that you're facing. You want to get more clients in the door. Okay, well, I know that video has solved that for other companies. Here are some results that I've provided for other companies in a similar niche with video services. All right, let's go ahead and make a targeted message. Let's make this video. Let's go ahead and do the marketing behind it. Let's send it out and we will track and get your results. That is the only thing that you are selling to a client. This is my favorite example. We used to watch football, maybe not everybody, but sports in general, broadcast around the entire nation. Most of these, until a couple of years ago, were shot in 720p and broadcast around the world. I mean, even like last year, the NFL started just using Sony A7Siii, I think they were, for a shallower depth of field while tracking some of the quarterbacks, and people lost their mind. It was absolutely amazing. That camera is a couple of years old. It is not the newest of the new. And people were losing their mind around the country. News outlets were talking about it. People were tuning in just to see that shallow depth of field. People were talking about it. Those consumers are the same people who you are selling your content to. The fact that they were fine with 720p until this year, without shallow depth of field, without this crazy tracking, without gimbal work, the fact that they were perfectly fine to consume that content should send you a crystal clear message. If you're making a video for a client and sending it out to those same participants, you don't need to use the latest equipment. You don't need to get a super shallow depth of field. You just need the basic principles and an engaging story in order to get their attention. Now, why do I say this? I'm not saying gear doesn't matter. There are so many gear doesn't matter, gear does matter, back and forth because it's popular in this space right now. Gear does matter. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is don't rely your work on having a specific camera. I've heard of people in this space to this day who are killing it with a Canon T3i because they know how to light it, they know how to write a story, they know how to pitch that story to clients, and they know how to sell that story to customers who are watching it. You don't need expensive camera gear in order to make it into this space. And this 30-day challenge is going to outline some ways that you can make it in this space that don't really talk about the camera that you're using. Your client is looking for two things: a solve for the problem that they're facing, and creative content that can engage an audience. At the end of the day, that's really all that they're looking for, and if you can provide those things, they will give you their money. Thank you guys so much for joining in on what is this? Day 6 of the 30-day video production challenge. If you like this video, go ahead and click on that like button. Subscribe if you want to join in the journey and see 30 days straight of how you can be a better video productionist, content creator, how you can make better content. And tune in tomorrow for Day 7. Gear does matter, brand loyalty does not.